Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Absolutely WSL and Women's Championship Show. You will notice, coincidentally, we are all wearing black this evening in mourning, but we will come on to that in the 18th minute, so stick around. Now, this week, Anne's laughing at us already, we've got a lovely panel joining me. Anne, it's been ages. How are you?
I'm really well, yeah, thanks. I don't like there's not been much to talk about for me, has there? So I have been missing in action a little bit, but I'm fine. Yeah, how are you? You all right? Apart from obviously what's going to be happening in the 18th minute.
Apart from the obvious, you're all really glad that I've been able to make it. It was a bit touch and go earlier, but I'm here. I rallied round, and we're good. Now we've got Chloe squared again. So we'll do Chloe as England 9 Leicesters Chloe and Chloe Bear. We'll do the usual to separate the two. Chloe Bear, how are you doing? Apart from the obvious.
Apart from the obvious, I'm okay. A bit sad, it's a bit in mourning, but I'm somewhat all right.
Somewhat okay. We promise we are going to have another fun night. We are just being a little bit exaggerated in our mourning, but not really. And of course, Chloe, welcome back. How are you?
Oh, I'm good.
Good stuff. You are our Chelsea correspondent for the evening, aren't you?
Yep, indeed.
Can't wait to get into that one. Even that one wasn't great, was it? But we're going to talk about everything we possibly can. So it is the week of, it seems like, all the pre-season matches. It's week 2 of the Women's National League that we're going to be talking about as well. And of course, the beginning of the determining round of the Women's National League Cup, which sounds like it's from Gladiators, which always makes me laugh. And a fun fact to start us off, everyone, on this day in 2011, Arsenal were crowned the first ever champions of the WSL. So there you go. All those years ago, and they're here. But joining us this evening, thank you to everyone in the chat. Good evening to Mark, you're always first, so well done to you for getting here so early. Good evening to Emma, can't wait for you to cheer us up this evening with your one-liners. Good evening to Emily, we're good, thank you, hope you are too. Good evening to Russ. Sam says, sending Mallorcan love for Freya's broken transfer heart and top work for the team colours. Yeah, wasn't even planned, Sam. We're just that good. And we've even got our lovely Rosie in the chat as well. Evening, gang. Can't stay for long, but thought I'd pop in to say hello. Well, thank you very much, Rosie. We do appreciate it. Hope you have a lovely night for the rest of it. Now, did anyone manage? It was a really weird kickoff time, but there was a pre-season match today with Man City and Leicester City out in Australia. Kickoff was 11:15 earlier. Did anyone manage to see anything?
I was in work.
I was going to say most people were at work, and most people went, hang on, it was on today? What is this? So for those of you who might have missed it, so it's part of the new Perth International Football Cup, which aims to make Western Australia a top destination for world-class football events and is the first of its kind in Australia. There you go. I am available for their marketing adverts as well. Apparently it's in Perth because it's less to travel for the English teams. So that's why it's on the western edge rather than any of the other stadiums. But yeah, it was fairly good. It ended 0-0. And for some reason in all of these, as Emma's just said, it had to go to pens because it ended 0-0. So no extra time in these friendlies, went straight to penalties, and City won 4-3. But still, there was nothing in it. So overall, considering what we expect from Man City, even though it's pre-season, even though it's a friendly, I thought Leicester gave a really good account of themselves. Chloe Bear, did you manage to see any of this? I know you've been working hard in the library all day.
I watched some of the highlights and I agree. There was hardly any. I mean, I'm a firm believer of pre-season means nothing. I say this every week, but pre-season is just an opportunity for players to get time, for new players to get time, for the team to work out what works, what doesn't, for them to gel a little bit. But I mean, from the highlights and what I saw on Twitter and the not very nice Man City kit. Can we just talk about that kit for a minute? Because it isn't.
Yeah, can we talk about that kit? And people in the chat as well. How are we feeling about that Man City kit? It's the one with the neon. It's not even green, is it? It's like a limey yellow. That gives us a bit of a headache, really, to be honest. But Chloe, you quite like it. You like that it's a bit of a throwback.
Yeah, I think I'm a bit of a sucker for sort of throwback designs. And yeah, they've done well to pay homage to 98, 99 away kit, I think. I didn't look it up earlier, I've forgotten now.
When you sent it through, it was quite similar, yeah. But yeah, what do we think as well? So kind of the lime green. Ant, are you a fan?
Yeah, I like it as well. I think it's quite...
I like it.
Yeah, to be fair, I think it's quite good of Man City to, throw us all back to, the 90s. It's a bit of a 90s nostalgia for Manchester at the minute, isn't it? With them going back to that kit, Oasis getting back together, just need City demoted to the third tier English football. We'll be on the moon, won't we? But I like it, mate. I like stuff like that. Like I like the original, to be fair, in the 90s. So I actually quite like it. I think it's a nice little kit, to be fair.
Okay, brilliant. Now, colours aside, what do we all think of the? Because they had a graffiti artist design the names and the actual font, didn't they? How are we feeling about a funky font? Do we agree? Do we like to stick with the nice plain numbers, or how do we? Have we seen it first of all?
I haven't seen it, but I will have a look.
Yeah,
it sounds horrific, to be honest.
I can see the idea behind it. Chloe, what were you going to say?
Yeah, I don't like it. Stick with bold, plain stuff. Doesn't work.
Yeah. I'll miss it all about. No, Emma, you need to sit and watch and listen and concentrate. there is no multitasking here.
It was packing.
Yeah. Yeah, we're talking about the Man City kits.
Yeah, I've just seen it. It's minging. That's horrible. Yeah. They've done it for the men's side as well, haven't they? Because I'm looking at Oscar Bob's away top. And yeah, that's horrid. It looks like Bart Simpson's handwriting on the chalkboard, to start the Simpsons.
It
looks
does.
like that. Yeah, I don't like that at all. That's going to be impossible for who are commentators try to read that, isn't it?
And that's the thing, yeah, because even the numbers, they've got like a shadow on them as well, haven't they? So it's going to be an interesting season. Depending on when they use it, though, because I think that might just be for cup matches. And I don't think it's the font for their normal games. So fingers crossed. It's not too bad for commentators. Sophie's joining in. I'm a funky font hater. We should get that on a t-shirt, shouldn't we? I'm a funky font hater. But don't say it too quick, just in case. Simon's joining us. Evening, gang. Hope you're okay after the recent transfer news, Freya. Simon, we'll get into it. Don't worry. We'll get in. Not being dramatic at all. But Viv Miedemar's first game in a City shirt, it was weird, not going to lie, when they announced her and she came on with it on. But I do have to say, Keating started in goal. And then Yamashita came on in the second half and she looked really, really strong and confident. So I do think that's going to be a fight for who is first choice there. Chloe, you laughing that Yamashita could be pronounced maybe incorrectly?
Yeah, that's going to trip up some people during the season.
It's going to be an interesting one, considering most people, couldn't say Lacasse. So I think Yamashita is going to be an interesting one. Now, Emily's just put in the chat. Yeah, have we all seen what Nike are doing with the third kits and the ticks are pointing upwards? Have we all seen this? So Chloe Bear, what do you think about this message on the third kits, that it is to show kind of where the game is growing, where it's going next? Is it a good thing, or does it just a kit thing?
We were talking about this the other day because we
I
were
was going to say weird. I was like, okay.
We were talking about this the other day because we were talking about the styling of it as well, and how like, particularly with the Chelsea kit, how Lucien Erin had been styled, and we were like, huh? I like the meaning. I think it's a really good meaning. I'm a big fan of what it means about the women's game growing, and a sign of like them being, technically like one team, one club, one environment. But I think the tick it just looks wrong. It just looks a bit weird. It's kind of like they've just slapped it on, like, yeah, that'll do.
Do you remember when? I can't remember which kit it was last season, but it was printed on backwards, and it was a kit error. I can't remember who it was. It might have even been the men's team, but the people in the chat, if this wasn't a fever dream. But yeah, there was the manufacturer had done it. So either the logo or the actual brand was like on backwards or was upside down. And I can't remember what it was, but it just makes you look at it and go, and like, okay, did they print it the right way? But before it was announced, yeah, Sophie's put, if it needs explaining, and it's a bad design choice. Because Chloe, this kind of first came out on the Chelsea third kit, didn't it, with the two contrasting arrows as well. So just following on from what Chloe Bear said about the styling, how do you think the punk rock look came across? Do you think they did it well, or was it an interesting take by Chelsea?
They did it really well, I think. There was somebody on Twitter be like, they're not punk and whatever. Everybody's like, that's where punk started. And funny enough, as an Arsenal fan, so
it was an interesting one because I don't know what you think if you've seen the images, but especially the ones of like Lucy and Erin and the lads, it feels like their version of punk and punk styling was like, yeah, give them a chunky chain and some baggy jeans, and that'll do.
Lucy looks weird.
I actually quite like Chelsea's kit this year, to be honest. Again, I might just be more. I just wasn't like style, to be honest. You know what I mean? I actually think it's all right. I watched the men playing it the other week, and I was like, you can't really notice it when it's on the pitch anyway. You know what I mean? But yeah, I know. I agree with what Paul's saying about like night kits in general. At the minute, are pretty poor. You're seeing like probably like the likes of. I mean, we've got Hummel this year, haven't we? And I think our kits are beautiful, all three of them. I think
I'm so jealous.
Stunning.
They are.
You know what I mean? But you're seeing like some like brands coming forward now, like a store as well. They've always had like good kits as well. Then look at the big brands that they had. I think sometimes they try too hard, don't they? Like the big brands are like, how are we going to take it to the next level or make it better and everything like that? And it just ends up you're like, well. So, but yeah, going back to Chelsea, I quite like the Chelsea. There we are.
Also, funny enough, I'm wearing the colours.
There we are.
Well, there you are. It's it was a strange one because when they released the first kit and it was like, oh, someone's got like the flame pen from Procreate and just like did a blue marble effect. And I was like, okay, I can learn to love
that
this.
Might be the one I was talking about, Freya. Sorry, the whole one. I think stunning. I've got to be honest.
So it's definitely something different, isn't it? It's something that really stands out. No, have you seen the black one and the new one they've just released, the third kit?
I'll have a look. Hang on. No, I haven't.
We'll bear with you. But yeah, Simon's put in the chat, more teams should go with Hummel. Yeah, absolutely. Because they always do it really bespoke, don't they? Because if you look at like Villa, for example, this year, it's just a copy and paste. Again, as Paul said, it's just a copy and paste of other teams' kits. Like there's nothing special, there's nothing interesting. And as a team and as a fan base, you're like, I'm going to part with, 120 quid of my money here. Like I want to part with it for something that I can really get behind and really believe in. So it's an interesting one with Adidas kits in particular.
I've just seen it and it's all right.
It's all right. It's not
all
special.
Right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't spend 120 quid on
it. Because we did talk about our favourite kits that have been released so far. And if you got a favourite kit, obviously the Sunderland ones are the best.
Yeah, that one.
Has any other clubs caught your eye for a good kit?
Nah. Quite like Sunderland away. As much as it pains us to say them up the road, I like their new blue and pink.
They go nicely together, don't they?
Hoops.
It's like a rugby shirt, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's a really nice top. But I don't like the fact it's got the white seller stuff because you're instantly drawn to like that instead of the top. Well, I've seen a couple of people with that on. That's quite nice. And I think
years ago that kit they had that.
They had it in the 90s. Yeah, they did definitely. Yeah, it's like a throwback to that. But I think it was stripes at the back of the 90s in this one too. But I think that's quite a nice top.
Yeah.
Now, apart from that, I can't say I've like looked at one and went, want that, you know what I mean? And I collect tops, so haven't really looked at one this year and think I really like that at all, to be honest, apart from obviously something which I still haven't got because I've all sold out.
I know, yeah. I keep looking and refreshing it and being like, why are they not in? Even like the training kits, like all of their everything, they've really put so much effort in. Because the third kit that came out and kind of divided opinion, didn't it? Because some people say that
a lot better in person than what it does. I don't think they made that good of a job of, you know, the whole marketing of it. I don't think it was that good, to be honest with you. I thought the other two were superb. But with the third one, it is definitely one you need to see first. It's a beautiful top when you see it.
Yeah, because initially when they released that, for anyone who hasn't seen it, they did like a teaser of the material, didn't they? And it was like the old, like the mine and wheel, and I was like, oh, it looks really good. I didn't realize until afterwards the black stuff around it was meant to be coal and coal dust.
Yes.
And I was like, that makes more sense, right?
Yeah.
Good. With that one. Yeah, we've got loads of people talking about shirts in the chat. Oh, there's too many. Yeah, Arsenal have done well. We've talked about the Sully kit last week, didn't we? I think everyone, even if they're not an Arsenal supporter, wants that third kit because the colours are just really, really beautiful. Yeah, Stella McCartney kits have always been something individual, something different. Yeah, the Crystal Palace home kit. I think we've mentioned it before. It looks like a proper like Tekken tribute, like proper retro. But yeah, absolutely loved it. Now I think that was it. Yeah, so City go through to the final of this mini cup, and West Ham will face PSG tomorrow. So if you are looking for that one, that is tomorrow, I believe, around about the same time. I could be wrong. If anyone in the chat knows different, do let me know. And the final will take place on Sunday for that one, with also the third place match earlier on in the day as well. Now, we did say when it got to the 18th minute, we would have a little toast and a little tribute. For those of you who don't follow me on Twitter, why? But if you follow me for a while, you will know Chloe Bear is also a fan of the lovely Martina Piemonte. And we got the heartbreaking news for about 20 minutes yesterday and officially today that she has left the WSL after one season and has gone to Lazio, newcomers in Serie A in Italy. So if everyone in the chat can raise their glass, and we are going to have, I'll open this specifically, to Marti, in bocca al lupo, good luck, and grazie for everything. So to Marti, to Martina, hey. Yeah, best of luck with that one. And we'll miss her. Chloe Bear, as an proper Everton fan, kind of how has she impacted the team? What are you going to miss about her? Because I know it's kind of took a lot of a lot of people have took it really hard, haven't they? This departure.
Yeah, we're taking it very hard. I'm devastated, to be honest. Like, she took a while to get going with Everton. You know, it was a completely different area for her. It's a completely new country. She didn't really speak a lot of English when she came. She had obviously Yaya to help, and she took a while to get going. But when she got going, oh my God, was she good? She was an absolute powerhouse. She was amazing. She had the strength. She had the speed. She could score goals. She was everything we needed and more. And I'm just devastated it didn't work out well for her here. I'm really good about she couldn't make it work and we couldn't make it work, and that she's going, and it's just really sad. But I know that she's going somewhere where she is going to shine, where she will. I mean, we say that the photo of her in the kit looks a bit.
Yeah. So it kind of all came out at once, didn't we? And I think that was more of like the overload of emotion, because it went from is she, isn't she? There was a picture that was on someone's Instagram story where she was in the background, and we were like, is that her secret twin that we don't know about? Does her sister play football? Because they all look very similar. But unfortunately, it was her, and the rumours kind of came out of nowhere. Like, not even our good mate Donna, she wasn't writing about it. Like, literally no one knew. No one was talking about it. So when it did come out, it was like, oh, okay, this is actually happening. Yeah, so she released the pictures of her at Lazio in her what's the word? Jersey. I'm not American. Shirt. She's still number 18 for those who are wondering, hence the 18th minute that we want to do a tribute. But yeah, her picture into the actual camera, just the eyes. She just looks really sad. And I know that's probably us looking into it because we are sad and we want that reflected in that one. But yeah, it just doesn't look right, does it? If you haven't as well, we always talk about how does a player leave a club and what's the best way to leave a club. And with Chloe, what are you laughing at? This is a serious moment. What's going on?
Oh, it was just reminding me of a certain player leaving a certain club.
Okay. Yeah. We'll talk about her in a minute. Right. But yeah, so we've talked about the pod on the past, kind of different players leaving different clubs, and does it reflect their time? Does it reflect their gratitude and their thanks, which is what Chloe's laughing at. But this one, four pages, okay, of text from her saying thank you not only to the club but to like the staff, and she's naming the staff and just everyone that's really helped her and supported her. She even, on the actual caption, so she put it in Italian in the caption, Muggins here didn't realise that English was on the pictures, so I translated all of it. That's dedication. She maxed out the caption on Instagram, which I didn't think you could do, and then continued for like another page and a bit in the comments. And I was like, that's mad. Like, that's absolutely mad. The fact that she clearly cares and loves the club so much. And Chloe Bear, for you, what was that like to be like, oh, she really like appreciated the club, even though it was only a season? Like, to have that come back, how did that feel? Apart from heartbreaking.
Heartbreaking. No, because reading her statement did make me emotional with like the 4 pages and how she is thanking everyone and gave them like special thanks, Garley and Tony Duggan as well for taking her under their wings and helping her, because I think she was round at Tony's like every Sunday for lunch. Like,
yeah, she was.
It was adorable, and like you could see how much she absolutely loved the club. I mean, she was nicknamed the Italian Scouser for all of her time. I've just read a comment. Emily, I'm always concerned about the season.
That hasn't been.
I'm always every year I'm concerned. But no, I do think I am gutted, and I do think she's going to be a big loss. And I think her statement does reflect her time. And like you said, the way she's named everyone, and it shows that she really does care. And I think for me, it just shows that she just didn't really get started in the WSL, but I think she will absolutely thrive. I don't even want to say the name of the clubs. I can't bring myself to. I can't do it. It's making me so sad.
It's going to be hard, but like we said, Lazio are a club that they've just come up from the second division into the first division. They clearly want to make a statement, and when you've got a striker like Martina who, thrived in the Italian league, didn't quite make it in the WSL for whatever reason, she's gonna go back there and kind of be in her element, isn't she? So to be able to go and, of course, know the language, know the community. She's from originally not too far from there as well, so it pretty much will be a homecoming. So to have that kind of fire behind you to go into it and hopefully make a mark on the season, because obviously remember as well, Megan Connolly from Bristol went over to Lazio as well not too long ago. So I think they'll be in good hands. But Serie A does start this Friday, everyone. Lazio are playing Roma in their first game. So that's going to be a baptism of fire. Oh, yeah. Baptism of fire for the first one off. But yeah, so we just want to do that little tribute there because she has made a massive impact on a lot of people as well. If you look at all the comments, people kind of being really shocked, but really grateful. That's good stuff. And keeping on Everton then, Chloe Bear, Everton did suffer, and Ant, this will lead nicely into you as well. Everton did suffer a 2-1 defeat to Sunderland in pre-season. As you can tell, Ant is gutted by that. So, with that in mind, because we kind of all, she wasn't in the pictures, she wasn't in the match reports, so we thought maybe something was going on. But how does that feel for you with a pre-season that's been so up and down? How do you feel?
Guys, pre-season doesn't matter.
That's the important point. Does it matter?
Pre-season doesn't matter. But I was very excited about Claire Wheeler getting her first start of pre-season since coming back from the Olympics. She's also a player I rate quite highly and really, really enjoy watching. I'm a big fan of our Claire. I thought, again, like I was saying, the entirety of last season, I don't think Everton played badly. Like, watching the highlights, because it was only available for the highlights instead of like the full game, which is quite annoying. Can we sort of that Everton? Even though it is behind closed doors, can we still just have a stream? Is that a bit much to ask?
Yeah, technically we're behind the door, we're behind the screen.
I would have took no one who scored. I don't even know who scored, and now I'm finding out now there's highlights.
Well done, is it? No, so
we got told absolutely nothing. We literally just got a little thing on Twitter saying we've signed off our pre-season with a 2-1 win over Everton. They were like, "Oh, mint." I don't know who scored.
Yeah, nothing. Please answer. Well, Chloe, do you know who scored?
I do know who scored. Katie Kitching scored.
Yeah.
She tapped it home and passed the helpless Courtney Brosnan, who fills me so much hope.
Oh, cool.
Yay to cool. And then it was Brianna Westrop who scored the second header into the top left corner.
Oh, there we are. Well, she's a centre half, so that kind of makes sense. Yeah. Thank you for that. Get on the group chat.
We need it. That's what we need. With that one. So Ant, we'll go straight to you then with Sunderland. So we've said kind of the updates have been very few and far between with what's been going on. So from what you've kind of gathered or been able to gather, how have the lasses done in their pre-season? How are you feeling going into it? Are you feeling all right from what you do know?
Well, apart from the first one where we were allowed to be, not allowed to be privy to it, but we knew the score. We got beat off Rangers 2-1, but it was like we had quite a lot missing with the Kitch. Obviously, Kitch was still playing for New Zealand at the time. That's how long ago it was.
Yes,
So she was away. There was a couple who they gave like an extra few weeks training to. But then we've gone to Hearts, and did we beat Hearts or we draw? We beat Hearts. We drew with Blackburn, and we beat Sheffield United. So there's like two teams, Blackburn and Sheffield United, who are going to be in our division next year. So we've taken 4 points off them, which obviously doesn't matter pre-season, but to beat one and draw one is great. And then obviously the Everton one, I know I totally agree with what Chloe's saying. Pre-season, it really doesn't matter. But the fact that we've gone up against the WSL side and showing our grit, really, it's really good for us. I think they'll go into the season with a lot of confidence. Obviously, myself, I'm just happy for it to be back. To be honest, we're 10 days off now, right? 10 or 11 days away from it, and I just can't wait. I think it'll be such an open season. And as far as we're concerned, we've signed well. Obviously, there was an interview with Mel Ray at the weekend of the Sunderland Echo.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Yeah.
Yeah, and she hasn't given that much away, but she said obviously Ellen Nadal scored 4 goals in pre-season so far, which I know she didn't score against Rangers, so that means she scored 4 goals in 3 games. Considering Chloe said she never scored on at the weekend. So 4 goals in 3 games for Eleanor's class. I mean, like, I just can't wait to see her play. I really can't. Like, Chloe did a hell of a write up for her, and we're really like it just made me so excited to watch her play, and I just can't wait to see her go and all that, and then we'll just see where we are. Like I say, I think we've signed really, really well. Getting Eleanor Dale in. Obviously we lost. I can't remember her bloody name. What's the goalkeeper called again? It was me.
Claudia Mon.
I've completely forgotten it. Claudia Mon, that's the one. Obviously, we replaced her with Demi Lamborn, who I think is a great signing. Demi's won the league twice, so she knows how to win the league, and she's obviously been in 2 good sides. The 2 girls we've got from West Ham. I mean, I've always liked Kira Flannery anyway. Kira Flannery anyway. That's hard to say that. I've liked her anyway. Watching her last year for West Ham, I think she'd be really, really good. So yeah, I'm just really looking forward to seeing football again. To be honest, the fact that it's so long, because it finishes in April, doesn't it? The championship, but then doesn't start until September. So you're waiting 4 months, and you have too many gaps anyway. And obviously, we were meant to be starting Sunday because we were meant to have Reading, and obviously what's happened with Reading's happened with Reading, so we have to wait an extra week. So it's is it a little confidence? No, it's confidence. Not. I'm never arrogant about my football team. I'm never arrogant. I'm a Sunderland fan. We never get arrogant about anything.
Exactly.
But I think it'll be an exciting league. I really do. I think there's 6 teams. I think you could argue could win the league, and I include us in that, and I include Newcastle in that as well. To be honest. I think it'll be very, very tight, but I'm excited. Going down to Birmingham, I think you're coming as well, aren't you? So it'll be fun.
I was until they put the Villa tickets on sale for Everton, and look how that's turned out.
Oh, there we go then.
So no, I will be at Walton Hall Park that weekend for that one, annoyingly. But my dad wants to come for the derby, so I'll see you. I'll definitely see it for the Stadium Light.
Oh yeah. We've getting free tickets for it, obviously, with having the season ticket stuff. But I think they've put the tickets up for sale for £6 for adults and £3 for kids if you're a season ticket holder for Sunderland. That's the men's side. So I think that's a good shout, because obviously we want to fill that stadium. We want to get that stadium to be at least 20,000. I want to break the record. I really do. The championship record, I think 15,000, which will get broken anyway this year because Newcastle will break it, won't they? But I would like us to at least have that, have them bragging rights for a week or whatever it is. I think the season's going to be one of the most exciting championship seasons there will be, and I just can't wait to get amongst it, to be honest. Really looking forward to it.
I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be really, really good. Because anyone who has been watching the pod for a long time, but we are massive supporters of the championship, because there is so much drama, there's so much going on. You literally can't tell, what's going to happen each week. Like, you can't predict it.
Best league in the world, Freya, I'm telling you. Best league in the world.
Honestly, it's great. It's great. How do you think we're going to do against Birmingham, and first game?
I think we've got a really difficult start. I really do. I think you look at the first 4 games. We've got Birmingham, and then I think it's Charlton, Southampton at home, and then there's another difficult London. No, it's Charlton and London. Sorry, at home. Southampton and London at home, and then Charlton away, and then Newcastle at home. So might as well just start them off early. I think if we can come away with them 5 games with, say, 10 points, 12 points, I'll be over the moon. I think the Birmingham game, I include Birmingham in one of the teams who can come up, because I think them last year, they probably bought too many players, especially in the summer and especially in January, when I didn't think they needed to. But them players now have got, another year to get together and get the team. But if they can get going earlier this season, they'll be right in amongst it. But I think that'll be a cracking game. That I'm going down, obviously, with a couple of the podcast members, and we're really looking forward to it. I don't particularly care for St Andrews as a stadium, though, but we're just looking forward to seeing the Lasses, to be honest. Really, really can't wait, because we've missed the pre-season, because obviously we haven't been allowed to go to any of the games. They've been behind closed doors, which I could talk about that all night. I could rant about that all night, because I really think that's where the women's games a little bit behind, where a lot of pre-season games are behind closed doors or not shown to the public, or not, and we weren't even live tweeting anything, so we didn't know. We only found out 2 results because someone had put in the Sunderland women's fan group on Facebook, and it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially the long gap when you got 4 months when you wait, and you're like, right, that's we want to know how they're getting on. We want to know, who's doing well, who's scoring goals, what formation we're playing. We're not going to find out until Sunday, Sunday, when they actually line up and see what happens. So it's just silly, I think. I really do. I think it's silly.
Yeah, because you'd expect a mix of behind closed doors and like ticketed, wouldn't you? Or like you said, just live tweeting or a stream or just something, so you can see, even if the logistics weren't in place to let supporters in, you just want something. You want more communication. Because definitely there's a couple of clubs who have upped their game in terms of communication and things. So it'd be really good to kind of see that rolled out in more clubs, wouldn't it? Just to make sure you're actually getting up to date. You mean you want your team to post on social media? Because if people haven't seen, you have a new content lead, I think we talked about it last week, and we've actually been given updates, which is quite nice. So they are looking to make it much better between the fans and the club, because when there's that kind of disjointedness between the two, it starts to kind of negatively affect that support. There, you want to be a part of it, and if you don't feel that you're part of what the team's doing, then you can feel a bit kind of on the edge.
I think especially when we've obviously got the podcast for Sunderland and everything like that, and I don't want to feel any sense of entitlement or anything like that. You know what I mean? We do it because we want to do it. We do it because we love the team and everything like that. But when you're seeing, and I don't blame the club for this at all, because I know Kieran, the social media guy, I know him really, really well anyway, and I know that it's not down to him. It's not down to Sunderland. It was down to a few games where they were playing where it was the other team. But I just think that as a whole, in a broader sense, that all of us are football fans, and it would be nice if you could just get to one game, even if it was to go on a travel or something like that. Durham played up in Penrith, which it opened up for like the Cumbrian supporters to go and see him. You know what I mean? So. I think that was great, even if you could just find an outground or something along those lines. And Ala would have tried everything. We had one last year when we played Newcastle in pre-season game, which was class. But and I think where Sunderland have missed out massively was obviously the last season gone. We lost our captain and our inspiration for the last 10 years in Kira Ramshaw. And the fact that she hasn't had a benefit game or a testimonial, for me, knowing Kira as well as I do, I'm quite gutted for her. And I don't think she's, said, well, I want one, this, that, and the other, whatever. I would have made sure we sorted that out. But it's logistics that the club probably know more than what I do. But like I say, we've literally we've done one podcast in 3 months. So everyone's like tweeting like, well, what's happened? So it's like, well, are we losing? Are we going to lose followers? Are we going to lose listeners? Because there's not been anything to say. We did the retained list when they announced the retained list, or with the players coming in, players leaving, this, that, and the other. But apart from that, I mean, we can't really talk about the pre-season for half an hour, what we're meant to be doing, because we didn't know anything. So, and then there's stuff that we didn't know if we were allowed to say, well, we beat Chef Wed and this, that, and the other scored. You know what I mean? So, just something I think football in general on the women's side needs to catch up a little bit, because you always get, even if. I mean, obviously, I follow some of the men as well, but we don't have many home friendlies. But we have friendlies where we play like South Shields or Blythe or Gateshead or whatever, where you can go. We played Bradford, it's a travel, but you can go. At least the grounds are open for fans to go to. And I think that's just a little bit where the women's side's missing out on it. And to be honest, when you're trying to get on the back of, the Lionesses winning the Euros, which was still, I still feel, is that that barometer, the benchmark of where we need to keep going and keep going and keep going. You're going to lose. Say if a 10-year-old, 11-year-old fan has come for the last couple of games of last year, got a favourite player, but then has to wait 4 or 5 months. You know what 10 or 11-year-old girls is like. The attention span will go straight to something else, and they'll be like, "Oh, I don't want to go anymore." You know what I mean? So it just Yeah, well, yeah, it is what it. Like I said I can go on and rant all night, and I nearly have. But, well, I just really
it's
think
good.
it needs looking at by probably
It
the
does.
whole football spectrum, really, where just
Yeah.
one game would be nice. To be honest, I'm not saying I want to go to every single pre-season game. It's impossible. You know what I mean? But I would like one. I would like one to be local or something, and then you can make it for free for kids or whatever. Get 2,000 or 3,000 people there, and there's your start. You're starting already. We're catching up now. Already, we're probably playing catch up already. 2 games in, and we haven't even played because they haven't let anyone for pre-season. So what's going to happen on the first game if the attendance is down? For me, you can only blame it on one thing because people's lost interest, and it's sad.
Lack of communication. Yeah, absolutely. Because even like going back to Villa a sec, like they did a warm weather training camp last couple of weeks, and they went to Marbella and they played Real Betis. We only knew when the match was because the actual football centre posted it's Villa versus Real Betis on Friday night. We're like, oh, okay. Is anyone else going to tell us that? But it wasn't behind closed doors. So we were like, a group of us, like wishful thinking, we were like, if we'd had a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months notice, a couple of us could have got together, got like an Airbnb or something, like, and we would have like really enjoyed that moment. Obviously not everyone can make it as far as that, but again, just to have the option if it isn't behind closed doors.
Yeah, I mean, what we had the last couple of years as well, they had the training on the beach thing where they did like an hour, and it's just like kicking the ball around on the beach.
That was
so
good.
The kids get involved, and me and my nephew went and all that. I mean, and last year, I mean, a couple of years ago, they had it at the same time that England were playing. So they had it on in the Stack, which is like a local like eatery and drinkery in Sunderland. They had it on there, and it turned out it was when England beat, was it Norway? When they beat them 6-0, or Denmark was one of the two. Whenever we won 6 or 7-0 in the group stages.
Yeah, against Norway,
yeah. Norway, yeah. So like, you know, and then all the players were signing the tops and stuff. And the same happened last year when there was a World Cup game. I think England were playing again. And the same thing happened. They were signing all the tops, and we had so many new players last year. So like my nephew got all their autographs, all the photos. I got to chatting with a couple of them as well, just saying, you know, just do your best for the badge and we'll love you. Turns out we all do. And beat the man. Turns out they did. But even that this year hasn't happened. And for me, I don't feel let down because I think that's a little bit of an overreaction. But it's just like, well, you know, but then what you want us to help out with, you know, trying to get loads of fans for the Newcastle game. Of course, we're going to do that. But it's like nothing's being given in return. And like I said, I don't feel any entitlement about running a fans group or whatever like that because I do it because I want to. But I just feel it's a little bit sad that, you know, nothing's happened this summer. But hey, we'll forget about it if we beat Birmingham. Lobby's forgotten about. So
exactly, 3 points coming this way. But that's the thing. It's, you know, if they created like a fans forum or a feedback or a something like more of a dialogue between the club and the fans, to say, well, actually, you know, last summer you did all this, and yeah, it was a big summer, but you know, there was a massive summer with the Olympics. Like they could have really leaned into that and you know, done something with it. So yeah, absolutely. So fingers crossed, it does, and we do get more communication and engagement going forward.
I'm not just saying that's for Sunderland because it isn't. It's happening.
Oh yeah, it's all clubs.
It's every team. I mean, you've seen. I mean, we mentioned that pre-season friendly before with City. I mean, how many City fans are going to Australia at this time of year? You know what I mean? It's like, I think that's weird. You know what I mean? I thought it was quite funny when you said, oh, they made it all right for English clubs. This is in Perth. But it's still halfway across the country. You know what I mean? It's still like a 10-11-hour flight. Because
we said that when it was first announced, because obviously Arsenal and Chelsea, who we'll talk about in a minute with Chloe, you know, West Ham, PSG, Leicester and Man City have all gone to Australia when 3 of those teams play each other week in, week out.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I mean, as well, like with the City kind of thing, obviously, I mean, I'm like mates with a lad called Jason Pritchard, whose daughter Poppy plays for City now. And she's literally like a rise from nowhere. You know, she was playing like 5th tier football 3 years ago. She's now playing for WSL side. I mean, he would have probably, you know, killed to go and see her play for City. And he will. I think she'll play for City, you know, quite not as often this season, but probably in the future.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like, you know, that's a big deal for her and a big deal for the family and stuff. And he's not being able to go and watch because it's obviously that far away. I think it's a bit sad, but
Yeah.
you know, it is what it is. You know, it's for money, isn't it? So you know.
And that's the thing, yeah. Because talking about brands and endorsements, the London Derby in the USA. Chloe, we're going to come to you. So Arsenal and Chelsea went on a massive tour, sponsored by, it seems like, everyone. Chelsea were known as SideQuest FC for for the duration of this, because they seem to do everything else apart from play football. But of course, there's some football thrown in there. So Chloe, when it comes to you for this one, so Chelsea kind of overall, because they've got, you know, 1,000,001 players, and we know their quality from last season. Before we kind of talk about the game versus Arsenal, how do you think they've done in general in pre-season? Are you quite happy? Were you expecting them to perform? Kind of how were you feeling going into this match against Arsenal?
I wasn't really expecting much. Literally, my expectation for the season was 0. New manager, you don't know what you're going to get, but we're doing pretty well. I mean, we beat Gotham, who were the end of WSL champions. Beat them, who have got a couple of our old players, and then beating Arsenal. So, I mean, okay, it's pretty good, but still, that's pretty good. So,
because they beat Arsenal 1-0, didn't they? And it's kind of talk us through the match, because a lot of people were like, it's a bit boring, really. How was it from your perspective, this one?
Yeah, I think it was a bit, because it's pre-season, so people are just trying to get up to speed, get game time, and sort of try out tactics and stuff like that. But it was okay. There were some sort of people you could see that were like, oh, okay, they could be good. Like, I think the main player they always talk about, I hope I get a name right, because I don't know how to pronounce it, but VK Captain, I think it is.
VK Captain, I believe. VK Captain.
Yeah, she was looking pretty good. Apparently, the potential she's going to go out on loan. But it's looking like maybe she's going to stay and be part of the team for the season.
Yeah, because she made an impact, didn't she?
There's one pass that I saw. It was like near defence. Just slipped it through into the tag, and I'm just like, oh, okay. She could be special here.
Yeah, we'll have more of that. Yeah, absolutely. Was there anyone else who stood out? Because I noticed a couple of players who I think will go far. But yeah, did anyone else stand out for you?
Yeah, Sandy Baltimore. It was good to see her get a goal. So,
yeah, because it was within 3-4 minutes of her being on the pitch.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yep, good.
Not bad. We'll take that one. I'm going to go with truth here. Hamano. Hamano played her absolute socks off, and then set up the goal for Sandy Baltimore, didn't she, as well? She was a proper workhorse in that match. She's going to be brilliant. And I just feel as well, Natalie Bjorn has just slotted right in. Sorry, Clover. Going from Everton to Chelsea, you might think there might have been a bit of a transition period. She might not play that much, but she went pretty much straight in, didn't she? And just her quality is there for kind of everyone to see. Sorry, Clover. But she really impressed with what I saw as well. Now, see, we've talked about the Punk third kit. I had that to talk about in there. Chloe, any other thoughts on that match? Happy with coming back into WSL?
Yeah, happy with it. And it's good to see that despite losing some players that, you got in some new players and they seem to be gelling in pretty well. And I'm excited for the season ahead.
Good. Are you excited that the first game is against Aston Villa at home?
It could be interesting.
Tickets did go on sale today, but no one knew until the email came through with the link about an hour before they actually went on sale, which is always really helpful. And they had even better, Villa, I'm just dropping you in it here. They posted the dates of the ticket sales, and they were from the last time we played them. And it said tickets go on sale in April. and they will go off sale on the 15th of April. We were like, oh, so we should have had 6 months warning to buy the tickets, but no, it was a copy and paste mistake. Of course it was. So tickets are finally gone on sale for Villa for that one. Can't wait to travel away to get beaten 10-0 in the opener.
To be honest, usually the start of the season we're not very good, so you might have a chance.
Wonderful. Can't wait. We'll take a draw. That's fine. It could be 10-10. That's okay. We can do that.
That would be quite okay.
If that happened, that would be the best moment in my life. I can retire now with that one. Now we talked about that. We talked about Oh yeah. So Emma said in the chat, are we forgetting that Chelsea played Chelsea? Yes. So this happened
this time.
Yeah, so this happened again, social media being the wonderful place that it is. Chelsea tweeted saying, remember, we faced Chelsea on the whenever, and everyone was like, we know you've got that many players, but are you really selling out a stadium to just play yourself? Really? So yeah, that was quickly deleted and revisited for that one. But yeah, you just think social media is phenomenal. We're using it now to connect with people. In other ways, it's just a bit madness, really, to be honest with that one. And I was going to say it here as well. That interview with Mel, Phil Smith, who wrote it, I went 6-1 with him.
Did you?
He was in my English
I
class.
like Phil. I do. I like Phil. He's a good
I keep seeing him
reporter.
pop up. I'm like, I know you. I'm like, 6-1. There we go. So it's a small world. It really.
I was once in a quiz with Phil on opposite sides, a Christmas quiz for Rover Report, and my team won. So there we are. I think I got one question right though. My mate who did it, Johnny, was unbelievable. Like absolutely unreal.
Just
and
popped
I
up
was
that one
just,
question, like,
yeah. I was
That's
just
me.
there for moral support. I think my only question right was Nyron Nosworthy.
He did most of the project, you just submitted it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. He was there for the brains. I had the looks, I think.
Yeah.
And it was only on radio, so there we go.
I love it. Yeah, because I was looking, because our sixth form, so I was at the girls' school and he was at the boys' school. And then in sixth form, when it was oversubscribed for the lessons, the boys would come down to us for some lessons and some of the girls would go down to the boys. So yeah, there was four of them. Four of them, bless them, came into a class full of girls when they were 16, 17. And they were just like, oh no, why are we here? And the only seats were the front row, which of course all the cool kids sit when you're 17. So yeah, that memory came back to me earlier. That was quite good with that one. Right, so we have talked through so much, aren't we? Good, right? Okay. So I mentioned the Villa friendly. Just a quick one on that. So they won 1-0. Hey, winning streak already. Thanks to the wonderful Adriana Leon. What would we do without her? She came on in the 70th minute, and within 5 minutes, magic happened, and she'd scored. That's what we like. And because we've had a couple of new players and not really known much about them, there weren't names that people went, oh yeah, I know who they are. It was really nice to see, again, from clips that we've seen, it wasn't streamed, some really exciting relationships starting to form. So there was some lovely link-up play down the left-hand side between Paula Tomas, who we've just got, down the left with Kirsty Hansen. And also, we think Leon and Daly were two up top for that one, which was really exciting as well. Villa have also released confirmation of their backroom staff, which is quite nice. So we've got Jessie van der Broek, apologies if I said that wrong, who's going to be assistant head coach. We've got Chris Steigel as well, who was goalkeeping coach with Newcastle. He's made his way up. Kirsty Frick joins as physical performance lead from West Brom. And Sean Gorter, right, has left Man City to come and work with Villa. And you're like, what? Is that investment? Is that support of the team? So it's quite nice, to be honest. Yes, we also had poor Anna Patton broke her nose. To the point.
Not the only one.
But yeah, so she broke her nose, and everyone was going, "Who's 36 in the video?" We're like, "We don't have a 36. No one's 36." Sabs D'Angelo had to go on as a defender because Patsy had to come off because she broke her nose.
Oh, that's why.
So Sophia Pua had to come on in goal.
Wow.
All three goalies. And yeah, Sabs was an outfield player for the night.
Only happens in pre-season.
I mean, knowing Villa, it would probably happen against Chelsea in the first one as well, because we all know how the last outing went with our goalkeepers with that one. But yeah, Gorda is a really exciting appointment. So apparently he's come in with a view to really enhance that attacking play as well, which is going to be incredibly exciting. And yeah, we're all in the delusion. Villa are going to win the league. You know, sorry, Chelsea. Get out the way. Goodbye to Arsenal. Sorry, Everton.
I take Gort as a forwards coach then. Is he going to be like the goal scoring coach, basically? He was an absolute legend. Like, what a footballer the goat was back in the day.
Feed the goat.
Exactly. Feed the goat.
Yeah.
Go, yeah. I mean, Adriana Leon's going to learn so much from him, I think, isn't she, Siri? Like, it's going to be so good. Can't wait to see that.
Oh, it's going to be so good. We've got a Geordie in the chat. However, cheers to women's football.
Oh,
yes, Geordie, mate. There we go. We'll have that. You spelt it wrong, though. It's Howe. We're not having any of that Howe in the chat when you've got two Mackhams on the pod. Yeah, do we all remember Mackenzie Arnold for West Ham? Played in midfield because they had an injury as well. So, yeah, I think it's the season of showing your versatility. I think that's going to be the one. Now, the football that is on at the moment, like I said, we're absolutely flying through this. We wanted to have a little look at what our local clubs were up to as the Women's National League is in its second week now. Now, Danny, our lovely friend of the pod, wanted us to pass on. Northampton Town women, I don't know if people saw the video in the chat that he sent, got the winner, so 3-2 in the 94th minute of the determining round draw with Cambridge United for the League Cup. Right? The 94th minute.
Is there a reason they call it the determined round? Can it not just be the preliminary round? It just sounds so funny.
It just sounds, like I said, it sounds like gladiators. Like
it does, doesn't it? Yeah.
Or like a ride at Alton Towers or something. The determined. But yeah. So I did a bit of digging because I had to say I wasn't that knowledgeable about this. But if you then get 3, you go into the cup draw. If you don't, then you go into the plate. So the Women's National League plate.
Oh, right. Okay, that's fair enough. That determines which club.
Yeah, it determines which one you go into. Yeah. So there's 72 clubs, I believe. And then they go through this determining round and then to decide where they go next. But yeah, Danny was absolutely buzzing that his town got through 3-2. But yeah, 94th minute from a free kick. It's a pretty special one, isn't it? Absolutely good if you're losing, but if that's your winner. And he called it a joy with that one. And it was. The clip he sent was very, very good indeed.
Paul's still in the chat because he knows all about 94th minute free kicks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Paul, if you're still here, pop up now.
He's went to watch it again and he listen to his commentary.
He'll come out of his bubble soon and be like, what? Did that one. So yes, that was Northampton Town beating Cambridge United. Chloe, did you say your local team was Swindon? Did I make that up? Is that right?
Yeah, Swindon Town and the local WSL team.
How's they been getting on?
Yeah, pretty good. It's going pretty well, actually. Yeah. It's good to see. They're getting loads of signings in and retaining players and yeah, but they're currently third in the table behind, and I've got it on a different. They are behind AFC Bournemouth and Moneyfields. But all those 3 teams have won both games. So their first game was against Keynsham Town, who are sort of known for being in and around sort of WNL and that sort of thing. They've beaten 4-2 with, and again I've got it in hand, so I can tell you who the scorers are. So Libby Davis got 2, Hannah Diaz Butcher, who is somebody I know, scored one, and Taylor McDonald got the 4th goal. And then they went on and beat Bournemouth Sports 1-0 with Annie Colston getting the goal. So they're doing well.
Very good, yeah. Because again, when you're trying to settle into a new season and trying to get through, like by getting some really good results first time out, just gives you that confidence, doesn't it, to kind of go through. So, Chloe, where do you think they might end up on past performances? Where are you expecting them to come?
I mean, sometimes they sort of stick around sort of mid-table maybe. And they have been sort of higher up and then come back down. So it's a bit of a, yeah. But I don't know. I think it's starting to take things a bit more seriously at the club now. And like, they used to not be under sort of, sort of club umbrella, but they really are now. And it's, yeah, exciting times ahead. So obviously they're in the Division 1 Southwest. So they've got a little bit to go to get up to the
just a few tiers. It's all right.
Yeah. So
keep working hard. Keep
yeah.
But no, that sounds really, really good. And did you have a little look at any local teams to you? How they're getting on? How they're doing?
So kind of the local ones to us would be like Durham Sestri, who's like Durham's feeder club a little bit. But a couple of ex-Sunderland players have signed for them, including Emily Hutchinson, who another player I know really well, and I really, really like Hutchie because she was like literally on the verge of being a top player, and she did ACL and then came back and did her other one. So she missed like 2 years of football. So then she last year she spent the season for our under-23s, but decided she wanted to play first team. So she's gone there, and I think they've done all right. I think they've started off all right. I know they won the first game. I don't know what they did at the weekend because I was away. I was at a music festival and I haven't really caught up. But they seem to be doing well. And we had the local Teesside derby this weekend between Norton and Stockton Ancients in Middlesbrough, and it finished 0-0. So in fact, it might have been 1-0, but there wasn't many goals. I think there might have been one. I think Ellen Turnbull might have scored for Borough.
I found the result. They drew 1-1 with Barnsley.
There we are. But yeah, so we'll see what happens with Borough, because Borough got a good side this year as well. I think they're in the same league as Durham, because I think they play each other. It might be tonight, it might be at Red Card tonight in the cup, and that'll be that's normally a very tasty game, to be fair. So see what happens there. But apart from that, not really any more locals I can think of. Hartlepool have got a women's team on the, but I think they're like quite low down. Apart from that, no.
That's all right. Now, Chloe Brown, what's going to come to you next? But looks like you're getting ready to build a pillow fort. You okay? Just give her a minute. She's gone.
Getting comfy.
I'm here.
So we were talking about local clubs. I think you said to Liverpool Feds. You were talking about last time, but tell us your secret, because you struggled a little bit because there's not much, is there? Trying to find it.
I was just really trying to find it in the deep dark web, and I just couldn't find anything. All I saw was that.
Wrong place.
Honestly, it was like all I know is that Rugby Borough won 3-1, but I don't know who scored. Can't find anything on that. There's no videos anywhere. Like, Feds haven't put anything up, Rugby haven't put anything up. It's like, why are we gatekeeping? Just stop gaslight gatekeep. Go, boss. Can we just share?
This is why you go on full-time FA, because it's got all the details there. Just search National League and you'll find it.
I absolutely love Liverpool Feds, by the way, because they once stopped Newcastle winning the league. And Rachel Darbyshire, what a goalkeeper she was as well. Absolutely magnificent footballer.
They are really good.
Mm-hmm.
Just watching them do wonderful things. I do apologise, Mia, if you're still watching. I did see this and just completely lost my train of thought. Yes, you did. We did have a toast to Martina. If you go back to the 18th minute, we all raised a glass. So if anyone else did miss it, rewind, obviously at the end, see us through to the end. But yeah, go back. We had a little toast and we had a little moment. Sorry, Maya. I did say that, I promise. But yeah, now local to me. So mentioned last week, I've got Lincoln United and Lincoln City that are both local. Now Lincoln United got their first point on the board. With a draw against Solihull Moors. That was 1-1. And they next face Peterborough, who are known as the Posh Women, which just makes me laugh every time because the Posh Women is the best nickname in football.
Lincoln, that's taken me back a little bit because that's what Notts County was before it was Notts County.
Yes, yeah. So they moved out and then made Notts County. Yep, absolutely. So Lincoln, let's have a look. Yeah, so the determining round that Lincoln United are in is going to be against the Posh Women tomorrow night, actually. So if anyone's local and wants to go down, that's tomorrow. It will be a massive battle, though, because Peterborough are pushing for promotion this season. Because on the other side of Lincoln, Lincoln City got battered by them 8-0. 8-0. They lost 6-0 opening day, and then they got another battering of 8-0. Now, Lincoln City, I think I mentioned last week, they've got a few issues. They've got lots of young players, quite an inexperienced squad. I think their whole management team's changed as well. So I think it's going to be a bit of a rocky start for them. But it doesn't help when you come up against the big promotion chasers. And they also lost, which wouldn't have helped, to third-tier side Hull yesterday, which was another 6-0, and that was in the determining round of the Cup as well. So they have already been drawn into the Women's National League plate for that one. So I hope Lincoln City, it kind of gets better for them soon, because to lose like that, like 3 matches in a row, like proper heavy defeats, like it doesn't do anything for your confidence, does it, with that one? But that is our Women's National League roundup. Thank you very much. I've just got a couple more things then, and then I'll let you all go. And look how early it is with that one. So other news, United, again, if you've got any United fans in the chat, do join in this one. They've announced Maya Letizia as the new captain on the departure of Katie Zellum. Ant, did you have any thoughts and opinions on this one?
I always think that your captain should be either a centre half or a centre mid. I've got to be honest. And I think, to be fair to Maya Letizia, she does look like a leader on the pitch as well, doesn't she? You know, I can't think of anyone else I would rather give it to on that team than Maya, to be honest. I think Ella Toon possibly, but she's been made vice captain, hasn't she? Yeah, and I do think as well, I think captains now, when it was like back in the 90s and the 80s and stuff, your captain was like, you know, your most influential player and your leader and stuff. I don't think it really matters as much now, but I'm really tough for Maya, to be honest, considering, you know, that she doesn't get picked for England as often as I think she should, to be honest. I think she's a wonderful footballer, and I think she'll really do well for United there. So I think that's a really good choice, to be honest.
Really good shout. Yeah, Truth agrees with you in the chat. Right choice. Thank God they didn't give it to someone else for sentimentality reasons. And on the other hand, Emma said, really thought it would be Millie T. Yeah. I thought Millie Turner would be up with a shout, to be fair. Chloe Bear, any thoughts on this one?
To be fair, I thought it would have been Tooney who got captain. Like, I fully thought that it would be the other way around. Like, I thought Ella Toon would get captain and Maya might get vice captain. But either way, I'm happy. Like Anna's just said, I think Maya Letizia is a really good choice. I think she does show like that leadership. And I read somewhere that she is United's men or women's like youngest captain at 22. I think like that.
Yeah.
That's mental, like
believing in the future. Because like Truth just said, Millie Turner won't be there in about 2 years' time, whereas MLT is a long-term choice. That's interesting. Yeah, good, because I suppose you want a captain who really has no intention of leaving the club, who's going to stay there, who's going to be a proper kind of beacon of what the team was, which is exactly what Katie Zellum was, wasn't she, before she went. Chloe, what do you reckon with this one? Happy, sad, and different?
Different, but yeah.
Good, glad we had that chat, thank you.
22 years old, yeah, they're really looking to the future, and it's best not to give it to somebody who's going to probably leave fairly soon. But, yeah.
Leave or retire. Yeah, absolutely. So definitely that long-term choice there. Now we have another couple of ticketed pre-season matches. Villa going down to Charlton on Sunday. Can't wait to actually get back in a stadium and actually watch. My first time at the Valley Stadium, so that'd be quite nice. And yeah, just excited to actually get back and watch some football. Now, jumping on the, let's have a look at the USA Tour bandwagon. Guess who else are out there at the minute? Barcelona. They've blown out. Of course they have. And they will be against BFC, which will be on 4 a.m. in the morning if anyone wants to stay up and watch it for that one. Chloe's like, now I'm going to bed. So yeah, so if anyone is a bit of an insomniac and wants something to watch, then that's there for you. But yes, football is back, starting with various leagues around Europe. So we've got Serie A, which starts again on Friday, and so does the Frauen Bundesliga as well. Championship, of course, starts next week, and so does Liga FA as well. And of course, we've got lots of pre-seasons coming up to go to. Any other interesting news that anyone's heard this week?
Just loads of transfers just happening all over the place.
We know. Not over it. I don't think I'll be over it. Honestly, I can't tell you the pain. And I was texting Chloe like, why do I feel like this? It's a football game. Like, why do I feel like my heart's being ripped out?
Now you know how I felt when Fran left Chelsea.
Honestly, and I did a TikTok. So if anyone follows on TikTok, I'm starting to get into that now. And I'd said, look, who is the one person that's really hit you the hardest that they've left? Loads of people said Viv as well when she left Arsenal. We had Fran. Some people jumped on with some male players that I'd never heard of before. But thank you anyway. But loads of people were like, oh my God, like this feeling like for a game, it just shows you just like how much you care. So people might think we're ridiculous, and frankly I don't care, because it just shows that you love it. What?
It's just occurred to me that when we go to Walton next week, we won't see her.
Honestly, I was going to wear a Piemonte shirt. I was even debating getting the new kit because the new kit's quite nice. I was like, yeah, I'll get her with a name on the back. I'll do that now.
Well, you'll
have to burn the shirt now, Freya, won't you? You go on the bonfire.
No.
Italy. Go on.
I'll get a Lazio shirt. That's fine. I can do that. However, I do have a bone to pick with Lazio, right? To go on the website to read the article about her joining, you had to sign in and sign up, create an account. Of course you do, because marketing. You have to choose who is your favourite player. They've only got the men. None of the women. And I was like, I've just got to pick a random Italian man now that I have no idea who they are. He's my favourite. No women.
Do you like you pick the horses when you're doing the Grand National? The one's the best name.
Yeah. Tiger Rule. Yep. Him. He plays for Lazio, right?
I honestly couldn't tell you a Lazio men's player. I really couldn't. I would have to pick one out.
Yeah, I just went, who looks like they've got the bet? That one. But yeah, you couldn't skip it. You had to choose who your favourite player was.
Isn't Scott McTominay signed for that? No, he's going to Napoli, isn't he? I'm thinking Napoli, Scott McTominay could have been up there.
Napoli, yeah. But yeah. Yeah, I recognised a few surnames and I was like, is that just because I've known of a player in the past with that surname and it's not actually you? So I've no idea.
Baggio.
Yeah, tortellini. Yes, lovely. That's that one. Yes, of course. How can we miss that one? Lauren Smith leaving Bristol. Manager Lauren Smith, who did a brilliant job, all things considered, last season and previous seasons. And her interviews kind of the end of last season were very much, we're looking to the future, we're looking forward, it's all going really well. And then it came out, it was rumoured that she's left the club and, it's 2 weeks now till the start of the season. Chloe Bear, what were your first thoughts when this came out? Because no one was expecting it, were we?
No, like I was quite shocked by it. I can't lie. I was looking at it going, "Well, this is unexpected," because she seemed really invested in Bristol. She seemed like, like you said, in all of the interviews, she was like, "We're looking to the future. We're going to do this. We're going to do that," and I'm very much a part of it. And now it's like, no, actually, I'm not a part of it. But I think she's got something big planned to leave Bristol. Like,
that's the thing, yeah. So they said she's been offered a really good career opportunity. So Ant, in terms of kind of the support she had, kind of love she had from the club and the fans and everything, what kind of job do you think could have tempted her away to kind of break with what she had? What I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, what's available? You know what I mean? I don't know if there's anything going on in the WSL where, and I agree with what you're saying. Considering the job that they had on last year to try and stay up, and they didn't really make that many signings at the Bristol City, and it was practically a championship side playing in the WSL. I thought they did a really. I thought the coped amicably, to be honest, and I know that. You can say, well, they were getting hammered every week and stuff. They actually weren't. You know what I mean? Which is they really made a good impression of themselves. So unless WSL side seen that and went, we're gonna take a chance on it. But it must be something massive for her to leave there because she is a legend there. They absolutely adore her, as you said. So it's got to be something big, either here or abroad or something. There's a lot of players who were going there, and I was literally coming on to America. A lot of players, because it's a very short career as a player, and in America's the mecca for women's football, isn't it? Really, for especially players and managers. It would not shock me if they've got she's got a deal lined up in America, which would make sense, I think, because it did say, didn't it, something a big career move for her? So
it's a big career.
Is that something you're probably going to think there? It's either a big WSL side, which that's not going, so there's no jobs available there, or somewhere in America where I think she'd probably jump at the opportunity, won't she? Which is fair enough, I think. I think for her, you got to think of your career first, and as much as it would be nice for her to see if she can take Bristol City back up. But I don't think she's been given. I've got to be honest. I don't think she's been given the backing by Bristol City to bring players in this year. Because I don't see them as winning the league. I really don't. No. I think they might struggle like what Birmingham did last year. That they're coming down to a division where a lot of teams are improving massively, and the championship's the championship's so competitive, and you've got the elephant in the room with what Newcastle are going to be doing because they seem to be buying everybody. And like there's us, there's Charlton, and there's other teams that have massively improved in the last couple of years and done very well in the transfer window. And I don't think Bristol City have. So maybe she's thought, well, I'll cut my losses. But I wish her the best of luck. I think she's a wonderful, wonderful person. So I just hope it's a really good move for her. I really do, and hope it works out as well.
I hope so. Yeah, absolutely. Because I was just looking at me transfer tracker there. Bristol have brought in 3 players, but they've lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So yeah, they haven't done much business at all. And like you said, if she's feeling like, actually, I'm not being given what I need, why not when there's opportunities come up? Chloe, do you have any thoughts on this one?
Somebody put San Diego Wave because they've appointed Landon Donovan as interim.
Yes,
so it is possible that maybe she'll go over there and be the manager.
Because him being interim, he's got no experience in women's football, has he? So
why did they do it? Why?
Yeah, so he's a men's football player, for those who don't know. And I think he's only managed one club, and it's one that he started, I think. So it's not really like the pedigree you'd want for San Diego Wave, to be honest. So maybe she has gone and to work with him for a little bit and then take over. I don't know. But yeah, that could be a very, very interesting appointment. America has possibly come calling for Lauren Smith. Right then, I do have one quick quiz question, and then I'll let you all go.
Okay.
This will test your memories. Now, you get a point for each correct answer. Okay. It's one question, but you get a point for every name that you guess correct. Okay. People in the chat, join in. But remember, don't put your answers in until we reveal them, or else we'll be cheating. Yes, the answer is Judy Merry. The pod is over. Thank you for coming. Also, before we ask the question, Emma, I don't know if people saw it, when we talk about Italians. Uncle Ben's Italian, isn't he? Doesn't he do rice? Oh, Emma.
I don't think he is he?
I do not think he is.
The Dolmio man is, isn't he? Dolmio, Mr.
Dolmio's
Dolmio.
Italian.
Uncle Ben's not Italian. It's a strange looking Italian.
Oh, God. Yeah. Emma, I think you were talking about the Dolmio man. Same thing. He's my favorite Italian men's player. I might get Uncle Ben on the back of my Lazio shirt now. Together. Yeah, so Sophie's not allowed to join in because actually all credit goes to Sophie. She was doing some stats, she was doing some research, and she sent me the question and asked me to do it. And I think I got there in the end, but I had to have a proper think. So the question is, everyone get ready. There are 6 players who have played in every WSL season to the end of last season, okay, since the beginning in 2011, okay? So 6 players correct to the end of last season, the 23-24 season. Who are they? So 6 players who have played in every single season that were still playing to the end of last season. Can you name any? So I'll give you about a minute. Remember, people in the chat, don't put your answers in the chat box. Unless they're silly ones, please put silly ones in, that's fine. But yeah, if you have a think. And then when you're ready, if you've got any names coming to mind, then you can shout out.
Can I just very quickly say, no, I have no idea.
You know some of them. You do know some. They are household names.
Is one of Chloe Ledbetter's favourite players?
No.
No, she was WSL too. And WNL, WPL before that.
How far are we going back? Is this 12
So
years?
2011. So the first Super League. We've got some Northeasterners in there, and so you should.
Oh yeah.
Have we?
Yeah.
I think. Oh. She wouldn't.
If we're struggling, I can give clue clues.
Is Beth Mead one of them?
No, that's too young.
WSL too.
I was going to say she would have been 15, but
I will just say if any answers are these wrong, blame Sophie. She give it to me. But these are the 6 that we've come up with.
Brandon and Beth were in WSL 2 in 2015. Actually, yeah.
It's
Around
Jordan.
Jordan Nobbs, there we go.
Stephanie Horton.
Steph Houghton, yep.
There's
Yeah,
2. I'm done. I'm done.
Tony Duggan.
No. Oh, hang on.
Barcelona.
No, because I thought Tony Duggan as well, but I got the wrong. Yeah, Sophie's just clarifying it is only WSL/WSL 1. So not Championship, not WSL 2. So we've got Jordan and Steph. Yep.
This is tough.
Demi Stokes.
No.
You.
Because she went to America, I believe.
So she did.
That's what caught me out with Tony Duggan.
Who did you say, Chloe?
I said Leah Williamson, but I think she had
Too young.
bit. Yeah.
No, not that early.
Think of older players. And I'll release the chat. If anyone in the chat wants to join in, please do.
This is where I try and.
We've got another 4. So think every team who's maybe an older member.
Yeah. It can't be Judy because she retired a while ago.
Yeah, so it's to the end of last season. So they've got to have been playing at the end of last season.
Oh. Rachel Williams.
Rachel Williams, yep. And well done, Emma, in the chat for that one as well.
Can always rely on her.
Hey, Emma's got it. Right, 3 more. Not Fiesta Little John. She's been in Scotland. Okay, 3 more. 3 more.
Oh, wow.
Not Laura Coombs, Emily. Good shout, though. You're thinking the right age range. Would we like clues on clubs?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Villa, Tottenham, Everton.
It was the first one, Villa.
Villa.
Another Villa.
Rachel Daly.
Mm-mm.
No.
Houston Dash.
Oh yeah. See, catches me up with cramplers. It was not Daly. Oh god. Oh.
Chloe Bear, think new to Everton.
TP?
No, she was on a boat the last couple of years. She doesn't.
Mel Lawley?
Who?
Mel Lawley?
Mel Lawley. Yep.
Tottenham.
Right, 2 more. Villa, Spurs.
It can't be Beth Bingham because she was
Nope.
different. Debbie said.
The Spurs player has a Chelsea connection, Chloe.
Becky
Oh,
Spence? Drew Spence?
Drew Spence. Yep. Drew Spence. One of the Spences. Drew Spence. Right, 1 more. Think Villa. Think midfield. Think
Has
Newcastle.
Emma got it right? Is it Lucy Stan?
Lucy Stan.
Stanford.
See, I thought
Stan.
she was at Sunderland when we were. Might be right. Yeah.
Yeah, she did go to Sunderland.
So yeah, so
Well, she was at Sunderland. Start Lucy Stan, but I thought that was a bit early when she was at Sunderland.
Victoria
Lucy
Williams.
Stan gave me an absolutely epic moment when she played for Birmingham against us in the FA Cup, right? Because there was this fan, and it was one of Sunderland's. I'm not going to mention the Sunderland player, but it was Sunderland player's mum in the crowd, right? And all she did all game was give Stan the dog's abuse, and Stan scored in the last minute and went straight up to the fan. The fan got kicked out and Stanley got sent off. It was absolutely brilliant. I was just laughing my head off like, oh yeah, fair play.
I really wish there was footage of that.
It was a while ago now. It was about 8 years ago. Was it? No, about 6-7 years ago.
Oh, that's brilliant. We're going to have to try and dig that up and see
It
if
was
that exists.
hilarious.
That sounds exactly like her as well. That sounds brilliant. So just to recap, the 6, all credit to Sophie who did this research. So Georgia Nobbs, Lucy Stan, Drew Spence, Rachel Williams, Mel Lawley, and Steph Horton as well. And apparently Emma's Chloe needs credit because she said Lucy. Well done, Chloe.
Mm-hmm.
Well done.
Oh,
See, all the Chloes just getting it right this evening. And that
there.
Hey? No, not those 2 Chloes. That Chloe in the chat. That Chloe Bear, what was that face for? There we go. That's a better face.
Being very demure, very mindful.
Oh no, that's sick, honestly. I felt so ancient because initially I did not know what people were talking about, and then it popped up, and then I got it. Just TikTok. There are sides of TikTok I do not access, and I'm very far behind on all of these things. But yeah, but let's leave that on there before we go any further, shall we? So if you have enjoyed tonight and you've enjoyed our chat, thank you for everyone getting involved. We absolutely love it when you do. If you haven't liked, subscribed, followed, loved, shared, whatever you need to do, then you can do so right now with that little bell that says subscribe. Or you can find us on the following because we're very, very active. So on Twitter, we've got at Absolute Ball Pod. On YouTube, we are at Absolute Football Podcast, and same for Twitch as well. On TikTok, we are Absolute Football Pod, where we do clip up the best bits. So please make sure you tune in for that one. On Instagram and Threads, if anyone uses it, we've got Absolute Football Podcast with an _. And on Facebook, we are the Absolute Football Podcast. And remember as well, we're not just about the women's football on Wednesdays. We've got Premier League on Mondays and Thursdays for Lower League as well, all starting at 8:30. So thank you to everyone joining me this evening. Emma saying cheese team already. Chloe Bear, thank you very much. If anyone would like to see more of you, where can they find you?
So I am on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at ChloeBear529.
Thank you very much. And Chloe, we've just managed 10 o'clock. Well, hey, just before your bedtime. If people want to find more of you, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at EMG
Perfect. And it's been so lovely to see you. Where can people find more of you if they want to?
Tomorrow night, if you want to get a little bit more, me being very happy about Sunderland men's team after the great start of the season. But if you want to follow me on my personal Twitter pages and _Waterson, and if you would like to give the Sunderland Women's Howie Pod podcast a follow on Twitter, I would love that. And that is at Howie Pod, which is underneath. Yeah, there we go. I'm still struggling with the finger thing. Yeah, Rebecca Shaw just absolutely nails it. So I just kind of there. I kind of beat her at that, but there we go. I'm getting better.
I love it. It's like practicing all the way through. Like, is it?
Literally, I spent half an hour doing it.
Just try to get
just don't get it around.
Well, I've got my camera flipped, so I genuinely don't know which way it is.
Same. Yeah.
It's all good. It's fine. And yes, if you would like to follow me as well, I'm at Freya Writes on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, if I'm all over. Or if you want me ranting more about the Villa women, then you can find me at the whole 115 yards as well. So thank you so much to everyone watching, listening, tuning in. We do really, really appreciate it. So we'll see you same time next week, 8:30 on a Wednesday, where we'll have a lot more preseason to talk about. So thank you very much and good evening.